All right, welcome back to Module 5.3 once more. In this lecture video, let's take a look at metric unit of measurement for liquid volume. All right. So before I begin, let's take a look. What have we done so far in Module 5? So we converted US measurement to another US measurement. Okay, and under US to US, we have three things we can convert between length to another length. We can convert, like the miles, feet, inches. We can convert capacity to another capacity. Oh, sorry. We can, that will be our gallons, quart, pint, cups, fluid ounces. Or we can convert between weight, which is pound, ounce. So we can convert between weight to weight. All right, and then we begin to talk about matrix. So this is metric convert to another metric. And in the previous video, we just did capacity to another capacity, which is so many liter, like kiloliters to milliliters, or milliliters back to liters, things like that. Okay, let's convert between capacity to capacity. All right, we also did the meters, which is length, convert to length. And then we also did the weights, which is gram, convert some sort of gram to another sort of gram. So that's weights to weight, GHT. I'm just real quick. All right, and then we also did something about areas, okay? Land areas and small area. So now we're going to talk about conversion between metric to metric involving with liquid volume, okay? So volume is referring to cubic, okay? You know you're dealing with volume when you see the word cubic, and that's why you come over here on the formula sheet to read these, okay? Now, up top here are cubic convert to other cubic, okay, within the matrix. Down here, this is liquid volume in equivalence. So what this is saying is this is conversion between capacity, is converting between capacity with volume. Okay, so remember, so the word, the words changes. Volume, you will see cubic, or you will see the word cubic. Capacity, only thing you see is some sort of liter, like liter, kiloliters, milliliters. Okay, so you got to be very aware what units you are trying to convert, so you know where to look on the formula sheet, basically. Okay, it's a little bit tricky. All right, so let's take a look, okay? And I will try to write it down for you as well as we go along. So express 24 cubic centimeters. So that's volume in kiloliter. Kiloliter is capacity. All right, so this problem is 24 cubic centimeter is equal to so many kiloliters. So that's actually convert between volume to capacity. So we will have to look down here, liquid volume equivalent. Do I have anything between cubic centimeter volume to capacity? I don't. I only got three things here. I got kiloliters to cubic meters. I have cubic centimeter to milliliters. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. All these are 1-to-1 ratio. So what do I do here? Well, I can start off from cubic centimeter and convert it to milli. And once I'm at milli, go from cubic centimeter to milliliter. Then I can go from milliliter convert to kiloliter. Because from milliliter to kiloliter, that is actually metric to metric. For capacity, which is right up here using this table. Okay, so go from milli all the way to kilo. All I gotta do is moving my decimals. And this is where it gets confusing because first thing you do is convert from volume to capacity, and then you got to convert from capacity to another capacity, which you got to use the table to move the decimals. So since cubic centimeter is the same as 1 milliliters, when I have 24 cubic centimeter, that means I also have 24 milliliters. So now, once I convert, since it's a 1-to-1 ratio, now I can just go ahead and say I got 24 milliliter. I need to convert so many kiloliter. So go from milli to kilo. Milli to kilo, I got to move my decimal to the left 6 places. All right, so for my 24, decimals behind the 4. 4 and the 2 take up 2 spots out of the 6 I need to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there should be 4 empty slots in front of the 2. So my answer got to be 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros, 2 and the 4. Okay, kiloliters. All right, so be very careful. I'll make sure you know. Make sure you understand what you're trying to convert. All right, you express 2 cubic centimeter. So when you see 2 cubic centimeter, you already got volume in so many milliliter, which is capacity. So whenever you convert between volume and capacity within the matrix system, you need to come look at this liquid volume equivalent. All right, milliliter to cubic centimeter is a 1-to-1 ratio. So that means if I got 2 cubic centimeters, that means I have 2 milliliters. By the way, I don't know if y'all ever remember something called a cc. Cc stands for cubic centimeter. So 1 cc is 1 milliliter. It's exactly the same ratio. Okay, cc just abbreviation for cubic centimeters. All right, so cubic centimeter referring to volume. Volume is basically a space, how much space that you can pour some sort of liquid inside of it. Okay, so just like when we drink, when we buy a 2-liter bottle of Coca-Cola, that 2-liter bottle of Coca-Cola is actually equivalent to so many milliliters. Okay, you can actually look on the bottle; it actually tell you how many milliliter that is. Okay, so at the same time, we also know if I know how many milliliters I have for 2 liter, which most everybody know 2 liter is actually what? 2,000 milliliter. So if I got 2,000 milliliter in terms of volume, 2,000 milliliter is how much Coca-Cola that you're going to drink. Since the milliliter and the cubic centimeter are 1-to-1 ratio, at the same time, we are also saying that's also 2,000 cubic centimeter worth of space to have all those Coca-Cola inside of it. Okay, so that's a relationship between capacity and volume. The bigger the volume, the more liquid or capacity I can pour inside of it. Okay. All right. Let's try this one. How many cubic meters are in 15 cubic decimeter? That's how we say it. 15 cubic decimeter. So when you see cubic, that's volume. need to convert into so many cubic meters. So that's another volume. So this is a convert between volume to volume within matrix. So we need to look up here on the top. All right, looking for anything between cubic decimeter and cubic meters. So that's a 1 to 1,000 ratio. So what I can do is use our unit fraction methods, okay, and start out with 15 cubic decimeter over 1 times another fraction. Put my cubic decimeter down here, and I am allowed to convert straight to cubic meter. And my ratio says 1 cubic is for 1,000. 1 cubic meter is for 1,000 cubic deci. So my cubic deci cancels out. So that's 15 times 1, which is 15, over 1,000. So this problem is basically 15 divided by 1,000, which I need to move my decimal to the left 3 places. So that should give me 0.015. All right, so this one is volume to volume, okay? All right, let's check out a couple more. How many cubic centimeter? Okay, so this one is, again, is volume to volume. Cubic centimeters. So I'm going to use my unit fraction method again and just look up the table. So for these type of volume or area, I like to use unit fraction. If I simply want to convert from capacity to capacity, I just move my decimal. Okay, I find it easier that way. All right, put my cubic meter down here and put my cubic centimeter up here. And the reason why is because some of these units, sometimes we got so many units right here. Okay, so if I ever need to convert between maybe like a deci cubic meter, okay, into milli, okay, then I can use, sometimes some of these units might not be written down on the formula sheet. So when I use unit fraction, I don't necessarily need to know who is bigger, who is smaller. All right, so let's see, centimeter, meter, cubic, centimeter, cubic meter, that'll be right here. So that's a 1 to 1,000,000 ratio. So let me write my number in. And after a while, most students know who is bigger, okay? The prefix to the left is always bigger, okay? So after a while, students do realize which metric unit is always bigger than the other. So naturally, some students begin to use the shortcut. All right, so this problem I simply multiply by 1,000,000. So let's take a look. 82.5 times 1,000,000. 6 zeros. All right, so that's 825 with 5 zeros behind it. Because times 1,000,000 means moving the decimal to the right 6 places. 5 already take out one place, so that should be 5 empty slots for me to put my zeros in. All right, how many cubic meters are in 772.38, cubic centimeters. All right, so this is the same as that one, except it's backwards, because now I'm going from cubic centimeter to cubic meters. So I'm going to do the same thing. And most of y'all probably can pick up on it. Now I will actually end up dividing by that 1,000,000, which when I write out my unit fraction, that's what it's going to show. All right, double check one more time between centimeter and meter. Centimeter and meter is 1,000,000. All right, so 1 cubic meter is for 1,000,000. Cubic centimeter cancels out, so this problem will just end up dividing. Dividing by 1,000,000 is the same as moving the decimal to the left 6 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There should be 4 empty slots in front of 7 because the 2 and the 7 take up 2 places already. So my answer got to be point 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros, a 7, a 2, a 3, and then the 8. Okay, so just a quick lecture video on how to convert between volume to volume within the matrix system and convert between capacity and volume within the matrix system. All right, that will conclude this lecture video. Thank you for watching.